All right, this full moon on April 23, 24 is anticipated to be the most intense full moon of this year. Yes, it's called the pink moon. That's not why. But according to numerology and astrology, this full moon on April 23rd, 2024, it is known to be the most intense full moon of the year. Why? I mean, let's just think about it. Since the new year, astrology new year in March, all the way up until now, we have had several major energy shifts, major things that's going on in the universe in general. Mercury retrograde, the solar flares, eclipse season, the total solar eclipse itself. Okay, that alone, according to astrology, is why this is so intense. But according to numerology, 42324 is a palindrome, meaning if you read it backwards, it's the same way. If you read it forward, it's the same way. This all has to have some significant reason of why the universe is orchestrating all these things to happen right now. I mean, there is. But let's first focus on how to protect your energy and how to navigate through this particular spiritual upgrade. Stay tuned. What's up, y'all? It is your intuitive life coach here on the social media platform. And my name is Shae Anthony. And let's dive into, like I was saying, this full moon, this pink moon in Scorpio on 42324. Now, for you to actually understand, my God, what is going on, you have to pay attention to all of the major events that has happened. The Mercury retrograde is still going on, dealing with communication and technology, meaning certain things that you should have dealt with prior months ago or weeks ago. Things are coming back up for you to communicate with your development in that area. Like, have you grown? Have your relationship grown? All of these things is coming up. And I always like to say during Mercury retrograde, you would definitely get a text from an ex. All right? Yeah, I like to say that. Because this is shadow time. This is shadow work time. Whenever we're going through a retrograde, shadow work is very important because we need balance. We have to dive into that darker side of ourselves that we don't want to, I guess, address, right? But nonetheless, we have the Mercury retrograde, and then we have this total solar eclipse that only happens every 20 years here in the United States. And that was a major deal. Okay. And we had the solar flares that are continuously to impact us, And can I mention that the 420, Jupiter and Uranus, that just happened? And now we have 423, 24. This is a major, major energy shift when it comes down to this full moon, because we all know the full moon is about releasing and removing energies that no longer serve you. All right. So this 42324 in numerology, you can read it forward and you can read it backwards. It's going to mean the same thing, meaning there's no escaping this, guys. Okay. And when you look at the numbers that's in this palindrome, you have two fours. Fours is dealing with protection. 4 is dealing with your foundation, your stability in a way. And then you have 2. 2 is basically saying something is working together for divine intervention and to trust, right? So not only do you have to protect what's going on with you and your energy, you have to trust that you're being led the right way. All right. And because we are in Scorpio, oh my God, this is a transformation. Yes, even I am feeling this right now. I'm like super tired. Things are coming up that makes me to reflect on myself and where I want to be, what I'm not doing, what I am doing. And that is Scorpio. Scorpios are always transforming. Scorpios are always trying to evolve, trying to level up. And yes, we may be mysterious because at the time of us going through things, we may not know what we are feeling, why we are feeling these things, but nonetheless, we need our space. So if you take that all in consideration with this full moon in Scorpio, it is time for you to go into hermit mode. All right. And it is time for you to self-reflect. And because of everything that's going on, something is going to pop up where it will be illuminated. Something that you did not expect. Something that will come to fruition. And you're like, you know what? I knew it. I knew that this was happening. Pay attention to that. Because the full moon is all about releasing and showing you things that are in the dark because they need to come to the light. All right. And a lot of times with this energy right now, what I'm feeling with a lot of my clients, they are at a point where they feel like all of their resources are exhausted right now. They may feel like there's no way out. I'm just going to just go with the flow. Or they are moving out of depression or anxiety, right? And one thing about this full moon, you do have to release this. And like I said, there's going to be a situation comes up, maybe dealing with a friendship, a relationship, members, family members, even co-workers that will help you to evaluate how that person plays in your life and how you play a certain part in that person's life as well during this full moon. All right. And the only reason why I am saying that, y'all, is because, how can I put this? Pluto and Aquarius is squaring up right now. Okay. What I mean by this, let's say Friday night is Friday night. And Friday night is basically Taurus because we are currently in Taurus season. So Friday night is Taurus night. Okay. And you are the Scorpio at this time. So you decided, you know what, I'm going to link up with some of my friends. I'm going to go to this little spot. You know, we're going to get a little section. So you get to the section and now you have one friend on the left, which is Pluto, and another friend on the right, which is Aquarius. And all of a sudden you just mind your business on a Taurus night. Okay. On a Friday night, chilling. All of a sudden, Pluto and Aquarius start squaring up. Beaming. What are you going to do? That's a Scorpio. According to this full moon, is basically you have two decisions. Either you want to get involved, go with your emotions, or you're actually going to sit back and observe or break it up. Now, when I say get involved, I mean like during this full moon is not the time to get into hostile environments. It's not a time for you to get into heated arguments, right? So I'm not saying like right now breaking up a situation, right? And just really speaking your truth. I mean getting in and throwing bows, like giving somebody the business. This is not the time. So according to that scenario that I just gave y'all, I need you to be the observer. I need you to go in with deep truth and speak your truth, if anything, from a genuine and trustworthy and honest place of sincerity. Because this full moon is going to be crazy. I mean, let's think about it, right? A lot of people say, oh my God, it's the full moon. People acting crazy. Why is that? Where do you think the word lunatic comes from? Lunar, the moon, right? And if you think about how the moon itself can control the tides of the oceans and the seas, which is water, you don't think that the moon can control us as human beings? Being the average person, the average human being holds about 60 to 70% water. That's why during the full moon, people be like, oh my God, people acting all crazy. Da, da, da. Yeah, it's about to be that on April 23rd. All right. It's definitely about to be that. So that's why I'm telling you, I need you to sit back and observe. And even when things come up where you are triggered, because that's part of shadow work. You're going to get triggered. And now it's the time for you to go within and really speak your truth to yourself first. And then if you need to express it to someone to get it off, make sure that you are in a good space, not resentful, not argumentative, but in a good space to actually speak your truth, because it can go left. It can go 0 to 100 real quick. All right. So according to this full moon, I really want you to realize if you're going to be triggered and you would just happen to come across this video for a reason, you are knowledgeable right now of how to move. But let's say about the people that have not had the opportunity to watch this video or to be in tune of what is going on right now. All right. So collectively, you need to pay attention to a lot of people going to be acting crazy on the 23rd, April 23rd. A lot of people, the energy is going to be so heightened and amplified where they may turn something so simple into a big deal. So be mindful of that. It's not just you that you have to be mindful of your energy. It's also, you have to be mindful of everybody else's around you, even driving on a road rage on the 23rd. Expect that. And a lot of times, the real reason why it becomes so intense and so lunatic energy and chaos is because during the full moon of release and removing, there's certain parts of people that they do not want to release because they are comfortable where they are at. Or even if you're trying to grow and you're trying to release and you're trying to remove things and elevate, you might have a partner, you might have a family member, you might have a coworker that is complacent, that is happy, that is content with the level that you are. And oh no, to them, you can't grow. You can't level up. You can't treat me different. And that alone can cause that chaotic energy of this full moon, this lunar moon right now of releasing. So one thing about this full moon, it's all about going with the current. All right. It's all about going with the energy and not resisting it, because that's when you get that combative energy. That's when you start to attract negative things, because you're not going with the energy of releasing and removing and going within. So can I say that it's hermit mode right now? All right. For the next 5 days, I need you to be in hermit mode. I really need you to ground yourself, prayer more, meditate more. You might even feel like a change in your diet may shift. Maybe you might not want a lot of meat or red meat. You might, gear towards vegetables or whole foods, as I may say. But nonetheless, go within into hermit mode, because that is spiritual awakening. That is your upgrade of really self-evaluation when you are in hermit mode. So now, I am about to give you 3 things to actually protect your energy and that will help you navigate through this spiritual upgrade for April 23rd for 5 days. So 1, if you could, please stay in house. Stay in house. Ain't nobody got time for this. Just stay in the house. Okay. Like I said, go into hermit mode, right? And evaluate your emotions. And how can I say this? Pick up a study, pick up a book, pick up something that will, I guess, distract you from the outside world. I'm not saying be on social media, because that would increase your anxiety, but really go within and have more emotional intelligence around this time. All right. And the only reason why I'm saying this, because with your triggers, I teach this in my shadow work class. And if you want to dive a little bit more into shadow work on what that means, go on my website or go to the link below that I will leave, where I am actually doing a 2-day shadow work course. Yeah, we are going to dive into the energy of how you should move according to all of the new moon, the full moon, the solar eclipse. What should you be working on right now during this time as your inner child healing and shadow work class? So the link is below for Wednesday and Thursday. But nonetheless, one thing about the shadow work course that I teach about your triggers, how to identify your triggers and how to go within and how to release them so that you know, like, oh my goodness, I have completed this level. And your triggers deals with your ego. So during this full moon, expect to deal with your ego. And as I say, you will actually have two kinds of egos. You will have the Thanatos ego, which brings death, the ending of something, because it is righteously, justified that you need to do this. Or it will be the Eros, where you have less self-esteem and it will kind of like do the opposite. All right. So pay attention to your ego and your triggers during this time. And two, I really want you to be the observer. All right. If you see a situation arising where it will cause some confusion, some doubt, some arguments, just step back and remove yourself as the first person diving in to be the victim or diving in to be the defender. Instead, be the observer. I mean, go into third party mode, third person mode. All right. Look on the outside of things. And if you need to say, what would Jesus do? Go ahead and do it, because I need you to bring it on in. All right. So being the observer would actually help you to speak your truth, but actually allow you to see things on a bigger spectrum, the bigger picture. How is this person reacting? How is that person reacting? And then on the outside, you're like, okay, well, if that was me, I would have did this. Okay, Spirit. So what are you trying to tell me what I need to do? All right. And doing this observation, being an observer, I want you to dive in and speak your truth, right? I want you to have a conversation with yourself, because we are in Mercury retrograde, where how will I articulate my emotions right now? Why am I feeling this way? Or let me look at this person differently. If the shoe was on the other foot, that kind of energy right now, as being the observer. And maybe by doing this, you might self-reflect. Maybe by being the observer, you may realize, hold on, this job is no longer working for me. I need to leave, right? Or this relationship is not working for me. I may need to leave because I'm on the outside observing how things are, and it's really not in alignment. So what this full moon would do during this Mercury retrograde and everything else is basically what will have you self-evaluate. Why am I still at this job? Why am I still holding on to this job? Oh, snap. It's because this job is telling me, is showing me why I can't step out on faith, or why I can't be an entrepreneur. This job is basically showing me, if I did leave, oh, I wouldn't have a 401k on my own. I wouldn't have that much money in the bank. I wouldn't be able to start my small business. And 9 out of 10, because of this Mercury retrograde and this full moon, this idea, this ideology, this self-reflection has came up before in the past, and now it's coming up. Okay? Maybe during this full moon and this Mercury retrograde, you might, as the observer, might realize, hold on, this relationship is not working for me. I see that it's one-sided, right? Or I see that I really am accepting the bare minimum. And why is that? This full moon will illuminate, oh, because you really don't love yourself right now. You accepting the bare minimum is because maybe you don't know how to love, and you realize, oh my God, all of my relationships has been toxic. And I realize I need a toxic relationship to feel important. Ooh, that's crazy. But it happens, right? And I see it all the time with my clients. Now, thirdly, The third thing that I want y'all to do to actually protect your energy and to navigate through this spiritual upgrade is alignment, like I was saying before, with your authentic self. I mean, be youthful, be adventurous. But the key is when you go out to be youthful and adventurous, try to stay away from big crowds. This is something personal that you will want to do. And for instance, me and my daughter, right? We was driving in the car, and my daughter was like, yeah, mom, on my break, me and my girlfriends, we went to the park. And she was like, I can't remember the last time we went to the park. Now my daughter's 19. And I was like, for real? I was like, that is so true. And it's so crazy because I actually had the same conversation with one of my clients. I need you to get out and do something. I need you to tap into something that you would do in your childhood that you never have realized, that you never realized that, oh snap, I don't do that anymore. And going to the park is one of them. So I'm asking you this question. When was the last time you was at the park? And I told myself a couple of weeks ago that I'm gonna start dancing more, because when I was a child, dancing was my thing. Like literally, I was that girl. You know, everybody, all the family members, family reunions, party, they'd be like, Shae, come through, show us that dude dance. I'm like, yeah, I was that girl. So it's like doing this full moon is probably going to illuminate of how much you have forgotten who you are, right? You may have realized, oh snap, I'm not being my authentic self. And that's one thing that I want you to do during this full moon. So those are the three things, right? Stay in the house, be in hermit mode, right? Be the observer, and be in alignment with your authentic self by being youthful and adventurous, but more so not with a bigger crowd. Plan a trip, a day trip somewhere, get in a car and drive, but bring in a peaceful environment. Less people. All right. Now we are going to dive into briefly how this full moon is going to impact your zodiac sign. And I'm going to try to go through this really fast and not, harp on it, because listen, I can go on. I'm long-winded, baby. So here we go. So according to your zodiac sign, Aries, during this full moon will definitely impact your 8th house. And this is dealing with finances, shared resources, investments, and friends and family, right? So something may happen during this full moon, and it may bring to your attention of how unbalanced things are when it comes down to your finances when dealing with family. Like, or maybe, am I investing enough time in my family? Or is that even being reciprocated? I am giving so much to this friendship, and maybe this friendship is not showing that reciprocation. For instance, you have a best friend. You always plan parties and go out with this person. And then you realize, hold on, this person doesn't do this for me. Or when I have a major event, this person don't show up, but they expect you to show up. That's what I mean. All right. And also with this is also about, dishing out money. Whenever you go out with a bunch of friends and family, are you the main one dishing out money, Aries? Yeah, let's check into that. Taurus. Okay. Taurus, this full moon is in your 7th house, and this is dealing with diplomacy, love, relationships, balance between your needs. So Taurus, you are definitely a fixed sign, and this is more so slow and steady. So think about over the course of, I guess, years or months, this full moon will just have you reflect on your love life. And am I really finding that stability, right, that I need between my love life and what I really need? Are you really giving so much away that you forgot who you are? And diplomacy, I want to know, are you finding your truth? Are you finding a way to articulate that to the people that needs to hear it? All right, self-reflect on that during this full moon. Something might come up, make you like, okay. All right. Gemini. So this full moon is going to affect your sixth house, and this is dealing with health, work, daily routine, and services, meaning services to others. Maybe during this full moon, you may realize, okay, this job is not working for me because I feel like it's hindering me. For instance, customer service. Let's say you are in customer service and you realize in the health industry, customer service, and you realize, oh my God, I can't really help these people as much as I want to help them. And every time I get off from work, I'm drained. I am drained because I'm not being of services to them. And then when I'm drained, I'm tired, anxiety, it affects my health. That may be you, Gemini. Or this may be a time for you, something might come up during this full moon energy, 5 days, and it might say, oh my goodness, like I really don't like my job, or I need a job, or I need to change my job. I need to change my role in my job. Something will happen during this full moon to make you self-reflect. Cancer. All right. This full moon energy is in your fifth house and it's dealing with creativity, community, inner child, collaboration, and manifestation. So tap into your creativity. What have you been doing lately? Have you been tapping into that inner child? Similar to what I was saying as my third way to navigate through this energy is youthfulness. When was the last time that you went to the park? When was the last time you roller skate? That's what I want you to focus on, and that's what something's going to happen to make you focus on this full moon. Leo. All right, this full moon energy is in your fourth house, dealing with your family dynamics, your home, your foundation, and inner child as well. Pay attention to your house dynamics. You might be moving, you might want to shift and change your house, reorganize, redecorate your house. This is maybe during this full moon and realize, hold on, the flow of your house, whoever's coming and going in your house is not working. All right. You need to change this up. Maybe you have a young teenager that's coming in and out whenever they want to, and you realize, hold on, wait a minute, this disrupting my flow, or you might have that one child that's soon as they get an attitude or something don't work their way, shifts the whole energy of the house. Something like that, Leo. All right. Virgo, this full moon energy is in your third house and is dealing with communication, maybe a short travel, siblings, and ideas. So if you haven't been close to your siblings, something's going to come up to show you how close you're not with your siblings. All right. And you may have to travel to do so. And definitely dealing with communication, that throat chakra. Libra, this full moon is in your second house, dealing with self-worth, sensory pleasure, finances, and investment in materialistic things. So something's going to come up and say, hold on, are you giving too much or are you giving too less within yourself? What is actually giving you pleasure, or are you investing too much in other people and it's not reciprocated? And it could be material things. Maybe you're just the person that your love language is gift, right? Is gifting items and things like that. And you realize, hold on, I'm not getting the same thing. And the math is not mathing. Yeah. All right. Scorpio, this full moon energy is in your first house and is definitely going to break down the image, your self-image of yourself. You may find yourself self-reflecting on how people see you and how you want people to see, how people see you in general and how you feel like your self-image should be perceived, your reputation, right? And definitely relationship. You might think about, hold on, how does my partner really see me? Something might come up. You might see something, you might hear something, and be like, hold on, how do my partner really see me? What's really good on that type of time? Sagittarius, this full moon energy is in your 12th house, and this is dealing with secrets, subconsciousness, solitude, imaginations, and illusions. Ciao. Okay, Sagittarius. This full moon may just illuminate things that may not be what they seem to you, because in your mind, as Carisha would say, we go together real bad. In actuality, It's not what it is. Yeah. So I want you to pay attention to that. And you may find yourself being by yourself. Solitude is so important to me as a Scorpio, so I can see that happen. All right. When I'm by myself, I think more, I work better, I can kind of navigate through my emotions and come up with a plan. So I can see this definitely happening when you try to evaluate, hold on, am I really living a dream? Can I materialize this, or do I need to reevaluate and recalculate what my aspirations are? All right. Capricorn, this full moon energy is in your 11th house, and it is dealing with being ambitious, your friendships, and your goals and collaboration. Do you like collaborating with other people? Something may push you to do that during this full moon. If you like to be by yourself, it's not going to happen. You're going to have to work with someone to meet your goals or what you're trying to, I guess, achieve. All right. And it's going to show you yourself or why you're not achieving or why you're not reaching your goals. Aquarius, this full moon energy is in your 10th house and is dealing with career, your social status, also security. So this full moon is going to say, okay, is my career really giving what it's supposed to give? Am I really secure in what I'm feeling? You might have this inkling like, I know y'all trying to get it. I know y'all trying to fire me. Like, I just have this energy that something's about to happen. Or you may feel like I have this pull, like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this job. It's time for me to move on. It's no longer working out for me. Yeah, it's time to release it during this full moon. If you are looking for a yes or a no, take this video as a yes. Pisces, last but not least, this full moon energy is in your 9th house, and you are dealing with travel, high education, knowledge, and philosophy. I'm really thinking about spirituality right now. This definitely will be a spiritual awakening where you may realize something in your spirituality or something in your belief system is not really adding up. So let me go do some research on this. Let me really get some information. All right. And let me travel more. Let me go there. You might even pick up a course, online course or something. Hey, yes, come to my shadow work class on Wednesday and Thursday. So everybody, thank you so much. This is my full moon reading. I believe that I hit everything. And for the most part, I definitely want y'all to pay attention to how I gave y'all the overall general, but if you have your chart, how these planets play in your life, like Pluto, how it plays in your life, because that's really important. And Taurus, where Taurus is in your chart. Look at where Aquarius falls in your charts. So Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, right? So basically, Saturn is dealing with your karma, your thoughts, and your words. And Uranus is dealing with your ego again, and your freedom. So because of Pluto is squaring up with Aquarius, Pluto is bringing control and trusting. So this is where your inner conflict is going to come from, right? Is your thoughts and whatever you're going through and letting go of control during this full moon. All right, and turn your notification on because I will be posting more of these. And I would love to hear your comments on how this full moon energy affected you, or if any of this information resonate with you, please let me know. I would definitely communicate. And go to my website, learnyourvalues.com, if you're interested in learning more about me and about the courses that I offer, because every day we are lit, learning, implementing, and teaching. Like, share, and comment below, and share this video. Love you. Bye.